Hi guys, this is Baylor Cook, past president of the Pre-PT Society, just graduated 2022, so hopefully some of you guys still know me. And if it sounds like I'm whispering, it's because it's early in the morning in my apartment, plus I'm a loudspeaker, so my whispering is like normal people talking. Anyway, so let's get into this, make this brief. I live in Pittsburgh now, so unfortunately I could not be there, which pisses me off because I love speaking and it means the world to me to help Pre-PT Society. But let's get straight into it. So I made a little slideshow. All right, nice. So you guys can see it. This is me, Baylor Cook. So this is my gap year. So it's not too long since graduating. Stephanie asked me to talk about a couple of things that are unique to me, athletic training and physical therapy. So I wanted to be a physical therapist my whole life, blah, blah, blah. I had a health science kinesiology major, the health science concentration. I had that for all the way up to junior year, and I highly recommend it because all of those classes in that degree, in that concentration, are literally all the prereqs you need to apply to PT school. You won't have to take extra electives. You won't have to take all this other stuff that go out of your way. No, it's all in the major, and you're gonna learn a lot of stuff. It's a great major. I just switched to athletic training concentration last minute because I thought, hey, athletic trainer's cool. I might want to be a dual athletic trainer and physical therapist because that's a lot more prevalent in the industry, especially if you want to get into sports or work with athletes. And athletic training I thought was kind of cool. So I switched over junior year, very unorthodox. I barely got in. It's like a UTSA, they have an athletic training internship. It's a whole interview process, group stages. They rarely accept seniors, so I was like one of the first and only. Got lucky. I loved it, really cool. But man, it is a stressor. Athletic training is quite different from PT in a lot of regards. Um, if you love sports and athletes, cool. But some downside to athletic training, or just we'll focus on athletic training concentration at UTSA. You're gonna learn a crap ton of stuff, hands-on experience. It's amazing, but there's going to be a lot of classes in that concentration that are not prereqs for physical therapy school. So you're going to have to go out of your way and add electives and take more coursework just to apply to physical therapy school. So that's just that one negative as far as the actual concentration. But the internship that you're going to have to do is hands-on. You're going to be with the D1 team. And guys, to be honest, the people in that program, not to sound mean, but most of their grades were garbage because they just don't have time to study. You're with a sports team like 10 hours a day. You're at the facility, rehabbing, cleaning, or at a practice or a game, traveling with them, or at home. It takes like 7 hours. I would just sit on the baseball field for like 5 hours every other day. I loved it. It was cool. But at the same time, I wasn't able to study, and that sucked because grades are very important. As far as lectures in general, so differences obviously is PT is more overall care. So they do different demographics, pediatrics. Am I too loud? Yeah, I'm going. Sorry, it's my fiance. But anyways, so athletic training and physical therapy all around. So elderly, you got pediatrics, regular ortho, and it's just more of a general approach to things. Not to say PTs can't work with sports; they definitely can. It's becoming more prevalent in the NFL and things like that, and sports residencies. But athletic trainers, they're the ones that mainly work with athletes day in, day out. They're the ones that treat athletes. And the big differences between just mainly focusing on athletes is athletic trainers have emergency medicine, PTs don't. So if you love taping, you love splinting, you love wound care, all that like kind of EMS type stuff, and being a first responder, athletic trainer. But big things to know. Athletic trainers only have a master's usually, and the respect compared to physical therapists is a lot lower. They don't get respect as much, which is dumb because athletic trainers do as much as a PT, if not more. So that part I didn't understand. But yes, they're not as respected as a physical therapist. And their work hours are complete garbage. No family life, no anything. You're with the sports, and that's it. Day in, day out, 5 a.m. all the way to 12 a.m. sometimes, like the next day. And then you're traveling all the time, different states, different cities. This is your life. So if you love sports and nothing else, that is for you. Super cool. It's all for you. And the pay is like a teacher salary. Like it's so much less than a PT, unfortunately. Um, anyways, but if you love that, and let's say you want to be a physical therapist at the same time, I highly recommend doing athletic training first, then physical therapy. Get your master's degree in athletic training, which is pretty much a standard now, 2 years, so super cheap tuition. Then you go to physical therapy school, because I've heard physical therapy school, a doctorate program, usually 3 years, is a lot harder than athletic training school. So get your AT first, then PT, and get licensed athletic training, not athletic training certified. Get licensed. Licensed, you can practice in any state. Certified, you're just in the state, and that's very limiting. But yeah, in the industry right now, a lot of duals, a lot of physical therapists and athletic trainers, especially if you want to do sports and athletes. All right, post-graduation, what did I do? So applied to physical therapy schools, PCAS. I applied last cycle. What I did right after I graduated, just beefed up my application, volunteering at crap. I did like 200 hours in that one summer. I did a crap ton of research with UT Health, Dr. S. Highly recommend emailing them, getting some research in. If not at UTSA, it's a game changer on the application. And it's totally, Dr. S is the best if you don't know. PTCAS. So PTCAS, I can't really go through all of it. It's going to take too long. I'd love to go over my PTCAS application with you on a different time. I totally would love to do that, but we just don't have time, unfortunately, right now. But yeah, I filled out all that stuff out, and that's basically you just put in your resume, your experiences, essays, stuff for PT schools. And then what I do now in my gap year is I'm a rehab aide at Rooney Sports Clinic. So it's one of the biggest sports clinics, orthopedic clinics in the whole nation. And it's just known for sports medicine in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I live in Pittsburgh now. Well, big move from Texas. Yeah, it's known, world renowned. Like if you go in the clinic, it's huge as heck, by the way. But when you go in the clinic, you'll see jerseys on jerseys on jerseys. Like I'm talking Ronaldo, Pele, Maradona, Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Pogba, NFL stars Tom Brady, Tua, basketball Steve Nash, Yao Ming, like LeBron James, like all of these people have gone to that clinic because it's so incredible, and it's just one of the top, and it shares with the Steelers facility and the University of Pitt facility. So I see a lot of Steelers players as well, NFL. So it's a cool experience, super dope. Oh my gosh, guys, try and be rehab aid before PT school because I learned so much. And I was like one of the best in my class at UTSA. I was in the top percent, like 1% of my class. So my grades were up there. And obviously I learned a lot of knowledge, but man, nothing compares to hands-on experience. Nothing. Being a rehab aide, it connects so many dots in my head after graduating from college. And I'm actually just able to apply stuff, ask things all the time to PTs I work under who are like one of the best in the nation. And it's awesome. You learn a lot. So I highly recommend being a rehab aide, not only for your PT school applications, because you're going to get like 1,000 hours and so many cool experiences, but just for you, just to learn before PT school and really solidify your dreams of being a PT and learning so much and getting well above the other PT students and applicants. All right, so tips and advice. Okay, so I'm gonna make this quick because hopefully I haven't been going over too much time. Hopefully it hasn't been too long, but so I'm gonna go on my Excel sheet, and this was like my master sheet. I shared this with the UTSA PPT Society email. Just want to make sure you guys can see. Yes, you guys can see what I'm saying. Cool. Okay, so this is what I made to applying to PT school. So this is kind of like junior seniors. Now, before I go into this, there's this big myth that you can't apply to PTCAS. You can't make your PTCAS account, and that's basically the portal you use to apply to physical therapy school. You can't make an account until the cycle you're going to apply to. That's total bogus. I made mine like 6 months before I applied for the first time. So it wasn't even in cycle. This was like a year before, 6 months to a year before I even actually submitted my applications. I made an account and I submitted so many things because people are afraid once the new cycle starts, it deletes all of your information. And for some reason, I guess that happens for some, but that never happened to me. It just asks, hey, do you want to upload all the stuff you previously used in a different cycle? AKA when I created my account. And I said yes, all my stuff got in there. And guys, I saved everything. I didn't have to do my essays again. I didn't have to upload my experiences. I didn't have to upload my achievements and awards because guys, it's like a huge resume uploader. And I didn't have to do all my coursework. You have to manually input all of your grades from all of the classes in college, every single title of the class, every category that class is in, kinesiology, psychology, whatever. It takes a long time. So get ahead of it. Do it months before your application cycle. It's going to save you time. I promise it's not going to delete on you. It shouldn't. Didn't happen to me. Anyways, this is my Excel. So I just made a sheet of all the schools that I wanted to go to. So this is in-state, this is Texas. I only did out-of-state because my fiance, she's a graduate student. She's going to a PhD program right now, and she planned on going out of state, going out of Texas, which meant I had to as well. Didn't want to do long distance. I love her a lot. So I looked up pretty much all the places that she applied to, and whatever city she applied to, I just looked up all the PT schools there, and that's why I did out of state. So basically, you want to make sure what is good for you. So I would look up like the GRE minimum scores for each school, what they needed in order for you just to apply, their credits, their tuition, their deadlines, class sizes, how many letters of rec they need, specific ones, those specific ones, like specifically from PTs, or it can be from professor, or it can be from colleague. Do I have all the prereqs to apply? Each school is different, but most of them overlap. How much does it cost to submit? Observation hours, how many they need in order for people to apply? Usually it's pretty low, 50 hours the most, but sometimes they're specific and they say at least 80 hours, but 40 from one site, 40 from another site, at least 20 from inpatient. So a lot of them say stuff like that. And even though this is a minimum, guys, people have like 1,000 hours. So at least like a good goal to have, minimum 100. A good solid goal, 500 hours. That's perfect. I did start the application. I did ranking for schools. Now, ranking doesn't really matter too much, guys. It's pretty anecdotal as far as rankings. When you see schools like, oh, rank this in the best or 20th in the nation, or that stuff doesn't matter too much because we're all going to have the same curriculum to some degree. Out of all the schools I applied to, so all the schools that I applied to, all the ones in the green, all of these 7, I got into all of them, fortunately. And I'm going to show you everything that I did in my application to make sure you can kind of maybe emulate it, copy it as best you can to get a bulletproof one, because results don't lie. I got accepted to every single school, and only like the top 3% of applicants get in, because 1,200 apply each year and only like 50 get in. So this is a good application. Anyways, so ranking doesn't matter too much. You're gonna have the same classes to some degree. And I compared all the classes from each curriculum, so I'm not just saying that. Okay, and then pass rate, that is a huge thing because you want to make sure if that school is taking care of their students and their students are able to pass the physical therapy license test first try with ease. And usually they're all pretty much up there. UT Health was pretty good. Pass rate here, this was not totally up to date because I think the year before they had like 100%. So UT Health's awesome. And man, I love UT Health. You should try and get in there. Anyways, so that's kind of what I did. Organized all the schools I want to get into, all these factors. And then it's really important. It's kind of hard to see. It's purple, but identify the factors that you want in a school, because honestly, they're interviewing you, but you're interviewing them. You want to make sure they're good with you. So I wanted a lot of musculoskeletal anatomy, orthopedic faculty members. or an emphasis on that because I love learning that. I want to specialize in orthopedics sports. Did they have a lot of research? I love research. Student fun. Is it an awesome community? Is it like UT Health? Honestly, is it like UT Health? That's what I base it on. Because UT Health is freaking fun as heck. It's like one of the most fun schools ever. Is it like UT Health as far as like the community? Clinical rotations, how long, how many, and tuition, obviously, that's a big part. So look at these factors. Now, my package, why I was able to get into every single school I applied to. So obviously GPA is huge, right? I only got like maybe 2 Bs ever at college, and then 1 C, like in chemistry 2, lab, Sadecki. He just sticked up. He ran me over. Just, yeah, no further, nothing further, Your Honor. Yeah, GPA. So my prereqs, because they break it down, my PT Cast, they break down your grades. So they do your overall score, which mine was a 9.4. Your prereqs, so depending on the program, mine was 3.5 or 9.5 usually. UTSA core, so like all your core classes, so pretty much 4.0. And the kinesiology core, 9.5. I got A+ on everything. I think I had an A- in one class, and I just tipped the scale instead of a 4.0. So obviously GPA, huge as heck, guys. Do your best. It's not like a deal breaker, but if your GPA is a lot better than most, then you're pretty much solid. Because like, let's see, I think I had a grade thing on this. Let's see, application to DPT. That's right when you start to. Oh, I guess it's not on here. I thought it was here, but generally speaking, so let's go over stuff. So like UTF, they're like average GPA for accepted students was like a 3.5. ASU like a 3.4, Texas State like a 3.6, Texas Women's University, that's a pretty high up their school. Their average class of applicants GPA was like a 3.8, 3.9. So most schools, if you just have like a decent grade, 3.5 above, you'll be fine. But obviously, the better you are with the GPA, the higher you are in getting in. All right, shadow, biggest thing. So at least get 100, at least get, and the gold standard's 500 in my eyes. Biggest thing for shadowing is make sure you get as many settings as you can. They do not care if you have 1,000 hours in one setting. That is boring. That is not diverse. You didn't learn crap. When you go to PT school, they're going to make you a generalist. You're going to learn so many different settings. Kind of like medical school. You're going to learn about geriatrics, pediatrics, wound care, electrophysiology, sports, aqua, orthopedics, neuro, inpatient, outpatient. You're going to learn about everything. So if you're able to replicate that in your shadowing hours, they're going to die for that. They're going to love that so much. So get as diverse as you can. Now, the VA, I already hooked some people up at UTSA about that. Hopefully they still have that contact. I can send you guys that contact too. But Lori at the VA hospital, which is not far from UTSA, it has like 7 settings in it already. That's how I was able to get aquatic, neuro, ortho, inpatient geriatrics. All that from the VA. All this from the VA. That is a hotspot. UTSA, the sports, this was my athletic training internship when you're with the team 24/7. And then pediatrics, guys, I think UTSA has, you guys are sponsored by them. Connecticut's, oh my gosh, one of the best volunteerings you guys can do. So wholesome, so awesome. Tracy is amazing. The founders are amazing. All of them. Connecticut's pediatric, that counts. So even though you're volunteering and you're working with special needs kids or just kids in general, and a physical therapist is present, that's all you need to qualify as shadowing, as long as a PT is there, or like an OT. So Connecticut's totally counts. Yeah, I worked with Casey, the founder. Did some electrophysiology. This is just like a very, very niche physical therapy. Like no one has this. So I just did it just to stand out. But anyways, get diverse. Get as many settings as you can. Even if the number of hours isn't that great, get as many as you can. I wasn't able to get women's health or oncology, almost, but or cardiopulmonary. Wasn't able to get it, or wound management. But hey, I got 8 settings. That's better than 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, all the way up to 7. All right. What else? Leadership. So I was the president of the Physical Therapy Society. I was also the liaison of the society before I became president. And then I founded the Athletic Training Society, ETSA. So obviously extracurricular is important. Being an officer, guys, is awesome on the resume. Leadership, great. They want to know that. If you can apply for the officer spot in any society, pre-PT would be probably the most ideal when we go to PT school. But yeah, we're gonna learn tons of stuff: collaboration, leadership, adapting to adversity. You know, any type of officer position, you're gonna learn a lot of stuff, and that's why it's great on the resume. All right, Jerry, the worst. I hate it so much. It was the worst in my application. Schools obviously they still accept this, but some schools actually don't anymore. And a lot of schools that do accept it, they're not even looking at it too much. It's fading away, which is so awesome to hear because it's just like ACT on steroids, SAT on steroids. It has nothing to do with physical therapy. Oh, you can do algebra. Oh, you can read an essay. Oh, you can write an essay in under 10 minutes. Oh, great. You're going to be an awesome PT. No correlation to physical therapy whatsoever. So I got a 148, 148 verbal quant. So verbal, if you guys don't know the GRE, verbal is like the reading, quant is the math, writing is writing. So these scores are trash. I'm just gonna be honest with you, trash. Like they give you the percentiles of how you do with the national averages. These two scores, I think my verbal was like 35 percentile, my quant was 28 percentile, and my writing was 91 percentile. So my writing was actually pretty good. It compensated heavily for my garbage math and writing. But I contacted each school that I applied to, and I was like, hey, these are my bad GRE scores, but here's everything else in my application. What do you think my shot is? And they all said that I had other things in my application that would really compensate for my bad GRE, and it'd be fine. Also, guys, some schools, even though they have a GRE minimum, like let's say, I believe Texas State, yeah, they had 150 verbal was the minimum just to apply. Obviously, I had a 148. I couldn't apply, but I called them directly. I asked them, hey, can I still apply? And they said yes. So I still applied. So even though sometimes, guys, it's kind of clear cut and it says you can't apply if you don't have this, still call. Don't give up. I called them. I didn't give up. I wanted to double, triple check. And they were like, no, it's okay. You can still apply. And I got in. So if I would have just followed their website, like, oh, I can't even apply, I wouldn't have got in to that school. So if you don't meet a minimum, always call them, always ask. They'll compensate usually for something. Yeah, so I didn't plan on retaking it. Cherry's not really that important, y'all, just to be honest. Don't get upset if you don't get a good grade. Obviously, try your best at taking the jury, but it's not that important. Letters of rec. These break people. Make sure whoever you're asking knows you. When I read all these articles, these letters of rec, I cried. Like they were that good. And quote unquote, when I just said I read them, you're not supposed to read them, but all of my recommenders, they all sent me their letters. I don't know why, but they sent it to me and I was able to read them. I was able to read them and really make sure that what they said was not just true, but it was a good letter. Because, you know, people can just write, oh, I'm at Baylor. He was cool. He worked under me as a rehab aide, or he was an employee. He's all right. You don't want that. And honestly, it's okay to go to your letter recommender and tell them how to write it. You're like, hey, because what they look in a letter of rec, they want to look for attributes, great attributes and examples. So you can't put, oh, Baylor was a leader. That was it. No, you have to say Baylor was a leader because of this. Baylor has a great personality because of this and this. They want to hear awesome attributes with live examples. So that's what a letter should really include. Okay, I don't know if I should be telling you guys this, but so what I did, just to kind of trick the system, when you go to PTCast, obviously there's a section that says send your letter of rec person like an invite to upload their letter into PTCast. That's how it works. PTCast sends an email to your letter of recommender and they upload their letter. I thought that was it, but just to make sure, I inputted my own name in email as a letter of recommender. So I got the message from PTCast. I opened it and I was able to find out that not only does the letter or recommender have to upload their letter, but they also have to grade you on multiple scales. So they'll have like 30 questions about you, and it's all like on a scale of 0 to 5. So first scale would be, is this person empathetic? 0 to 5. Is this person a great leader in your eyes? 0 to 5. Do you know this person that well? 0 to 5. Do you think this person can be a great physical therapist? 0 to 5. Do you think this person works well with others? 0 to 5. Do you actually think this person is legit? 0 to 5. They're asking all of these questions, right? So make sure that whoever you're asking to write you a letter knows you. Make sure, because people can be ruthless and they can degrade you, deform you, like defamation. They can say bad things about you, or they don't even know you. And there's an option when they're asking you questions like that on the scale. They can be like, I don't know the person, and 0. That sucks. You want someone to highlight you, advocate for you. Be careful what you choose. Usually 2 to 3 letters is important. That's all you need. 2 PTs at least and 1 professor. That's usually good. But some schools they ask of a minimum of 2, but a max of like 10. And I took the max. I was like, here's as many people's opinions about me as you can. I just thought it was cool. But all right, next thing, research. Biggest thing that stands out. So this is kind of like a last thing, cherry on top of the ice cream. But research is something that schools, PT schools, grad schools in general love. And a lot of applicants don't have it. They're too focused on the other stuff like grades, shadowing, GRE, personal statement, resume. But research, if you can do it, do it. I was able to get it last moment, thankfully. But UTSA, they have an elective, usually like when you're junior, senior, of researching under a professor in the kinesiology department. Do it. Take it as a class, get an A. Also get research hours. Guys, research is so great for a resume or for an application. It puts you far above others. Far above others. So go to your advisor, ask if any professor needs help in research. Plus, I got a scholarship from UTSA. They gave me $2,500 just to help a professor with the research. I was like, oh, deal. Give me deal. Easy. Yeah. So go to your advisor, or professors that you have, and ask anyone need help with research. Also, UT Health, email them if you can. Ask for research. I asked for research. I was able to do research under a UT Health professor. I got to know all the UT Health staff. UT Health guys, amazing. 5 stars. If you get in that program, you're so lucky. And if you're thinking about applying, apply. That staff is amazing. The school is amazing. It's going to be the best. Yeah. So got research under my wing. That was dope. Schools love that. Last biggest thing, volunteering. So get as many as you can, as many hours as you can, and be diverse about it. Schools don't like when you volunteer just in the healthcare industry. They're like, oh, you can, help patients. Cool. You can, I don't know, put goniometers or walkers together, fix them. Cool. Stamps, whatever healthcare related. They like diversity. They like community impact. They like when you go to parks, when you go to Camp Gardens, Connecticut's Food Bank, Camp, Move Fit Live. By the way, UT Health loves Move Fit Live. So if you work with them, it's like a hookup to UT Health. Gartopia, Rowdy, Special Physical Therapy Olympics, Special Reach. Yeah, guys, they want you to be diverse with volunteering. So I was able to get like 200, and like parks. I built playgrounds. Would dig mulch. Connecticut kids, guys. Again, volunteer with Connecticut kids. It is so fun. It is so fun. Plus, you get so many hours. Plus, it counts as shadowing too. It's like checks all the check boxes. But yeah, the PT schools also love when you volunteer with like a program. So like a week-on-week program, like Connecticut's, you go, it's like an 8-week program. You go once a week, twice a week, or special reach. Somewhere in the summer, you work with special needs kids to camp a whole week long. I got 34 hours in a week. They like when you're consistent. Now, not to say that if you go to the food bank every so often, or camp, or Move Fit Live once in a blue moon, that's still fine. Volunteering is volunteering. But yes, this is my Excel. This is all the stuff I had in my application. Obviously, you guys can see my resume and my essays and stuff like that, which play a part in that stuff too. But I applied to all the schools in Texas and then University of Pittsburgh, and I got into everything. So this application is going to work. Take as much as you want from this application. And obviously, another time, if you guys want, I can go over my PT cast, show you exactly how I wrote my essays, what I put in my resume, and then maybe on another day I can tell you about interviewing and how I was able to interview and get into schools. I'm here for y'all. I am here for y'all. I am 100% PPT Society all the way. Alumni or not, like, you guys rock. You can do this. You can get into PT school. I believe in y'all. And then that was quite long, but go back to the presentation. My Google Doc, I'm not going to go into that. I kind of just talked over very important things in a PT application, like volunteering, GPA, GRE, resume, stuff like that. I shared it with UTSA Pre-PT Society email, so they're more than welcome to send it to y'all. It's just tips. It's kind of semi-professional, but anyway, take it. Just tips on applications and physical therapy stuff. But yeah, any questions, feel free to email me. That's my number. Text me whenever. I'm not going to be like professor. 9 p.m. latest. No, I don't care. You know, I'm a full-time job and I work all the time. I'll still try and get back to y'all. But yeah, as far as me, I guess for the people that know me, and little update my life, because I'm so bad at telling others all my life and communicating, and I never post on social media or anything. So yeah, out of all the schools I applied to, like I said, I got in, but then you decide which school do you want to go to, which school is best for me. UT Health, Texas State, Texas Tech, UTMB, Southwestern, Texas Women's, Pitt. And then basically you kind of just compare everything together. I don't know why it's not on here. It was on here, but I had like another Excel where I basically just compared my top 3 schools, UT Health, Texas Women's, and Pitt. Compare them all together, see how they work, stack to stack to stack. Lower tuition, better rotations, better research, and then other like bonuses, right? Like awesome staff or a lot of volunteering work, stuff like that. And I chose Pitt. So out of all the schools that accepted me, and out of my top 3, I chose University of Pittsburgh. And fortunately, it is ranked #1 in the nation. I had no idea. Just kind of went here because my fiance, she was a big determinant. But yeah, I'll go to University of Pittsburgh, become a PT, and everyone in the society that I know, thanks for your help. You probably don't even realize you helped me, or if you did, maybe it's a little bit, or it was a lot, who knows, but going to that society really helped me get into PT schools, knowing people like you, like-minded people, having fun, building up my application with y'all, and just having friends that are cool friends and that want to be PT like me. It just helps so much. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. Without y'all, wouldn't be able to get into the schools that I got into and do so well and applying to schools. And now I'm going to University of Pittsburgh as #1 physical therapy program in the nation, and I'm going to be a PT. Made the dream. So thanks, guys. Hopefully this helped. And again, any questions, anything like that, feel free to contact me. I'm always here for the PT Society. Always here for them. So without further ado, hopefully this video wasn't too long, but have a great day, guys. And again, I'm here for y'all. So contacting you whenever you need. All right. Peace, y'all.